It's really inspiring. Yeah, like I said in my talk, I think the difference between positive deep adaptation and transformative adaptation is not a lot. It's partly a sort of a difference of attitude and a difference of sort of public facing presentation. I think that I think that there's a risk in the claim that collapse is inevitable of demoralizing people. I also think there's a risk of overclaiming because I don't think that we can actually prove that. And Jem himself will accept that it can't be proved. He just says it's his belief that it's inevitable. So what I'm doing in my work with him is sticking to the common ground of saying that that deep adaptation is absolutely essential, because if you even think that collapse is possible, or let alone likely, let alone, as I said, very, very likely, then it's absolutely clear that you ought to be preparing for it. And in any case, as I said, most of what you need to do from a transformative adaptation overlaps with what you need to do from a deep adaptation perspective. Another reason why I'm nervous about the claim that it's inevitable is it seems to me that can make people a bit more insouciant about allowing themselves to blow quite a lot of carbon emissions, because the thought is, well, it's all going to come down anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter so much. I see you shaking your head, and I'm not saying that has to follow. I'm just saying that is a risk. I sometimes see some people involved.
It's a despair shake of the head. Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay, fine.
not. I wasn't in disagreement.
Yeah. I do know some people around the deep adaptation approach who do take something like that attitude, and I think it's very problematic. But like I say, there's an overwhelming kind of confluence and overlap. Now you ask a lovely question, which is there somewhere on the net where these kinds of discussions are taking place with regard to transformative adaptation? Yeah. The answer is I don't think there is actually at the moment, and if someone wanted to talk with me about setting that up, I'd be very interested. This is all quite kind of early days, and those of us who are working on the transformative adaptation approach, we're quite small, and we would like to expand, and we've got a lot more that we'd like to do. We're just kind of getting started, and I think that that after this rebellion, I think there's going to be a huge opening for people to move in this direction, because obviously what I hope happens in this rebellion is that we get a miracle, and the climate and emergency, ecological emergency bill gets voted through Parliament, and so on and so forth. And I'm not going to be holding my breath. So I think after the rebellion will be a tremendous opportunity to move in this direction. So I would love to talk with you or anyone who's interested in pursuing this. And there are one or two initiatives coming up involving transformative adaptation, which I can talk to people about if you're interested in sort of getting more involved.
The point of in our forum, the inevitability of the collapse is to remove the time wasting of discussing, or will it, won't it, right. So that we can get on with what are we actually going to do about things right now in order to set up resilient communities in case, and in my belief, because it's going to happen.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, and I do think that the French collapsologists have a very nice way of putting this, and they're also very worth looking into. Their work is being translated into English right now. More and more of it is appearing. For example, their wonderful book, Another End of the World is Possible. Very clever title. They've got a lovely way of putting this. They say we have to treat collapse as real. We have to sort of look it directly in the face. We can't know that it's going to happen, and indeed, the looking of it in the face probably gives us our best prospect, ironically or paradoxically, of being able to stop it. But that's what we have to do. We have to look it in the face and see it as coming straight for us, because that is what's happening. Basically, it is coming straight for us. As I see it, it's gonna take something absolutely extraordinary to stop it from smashing us in the face, to vary the metaphor.
Alison, then Hannah.
You're talking about the miracle that we need. For me, I'm just wondering what you think about it, but for me, like in the October Rebellion, people coming to London were like, how is this not in the media? You know, the whole of Parliament, everywhere is completely shut down. How come the media isn't talking about this? You know, our message was not getting out there. The only time the message got out there was when somebody, you know, did something stupid on the top of a tube train, and the negative thing. My feeling is almost that the miracle we need is for the media to start relaying the message that we're trying to put out there, and for people to actually begin to understand what we're saying. Do you agree, or is there a different thing?
Yeah, well, look, I very much agree. Yeah, but you know, that's part of the reality we're grappling with, right? And it's a reality over virtually the entire world. I think we've got one or two exceptions to the rule here, or had earlier. Are they still here? Yes, our local reporters who seem to be not part of that awful mega machine. So congratulations to them.
Great press.
But look, that's part of what we're dealing with. I don't know how many of you saw the recent BBC series, The Rise of the Murdoch Dynasty, which is very worth watching. Incredibly disturbing, especially the last episode about climate and the appalling influence of the Murdoch empire on climate. And that's where we are. You know, in this country, we've got, for example, obviously crucially, the Sun and the Times. You know, the sort of bottom end and the supposed kind of top end of the press hierarchy, and they have a huge influence, and the Sun especially has a terrible effect. There's going to be an action on Friday against the Murdoch empire if people want to take part in that in London. So you should look out for. Is it not?
No.
Has it been cancelled?
I believe so.
Oh, right. Okay, it's news to me. Apparently, it's been cancelled. I'm sorry to hear that, because I think it's absolutely crucial that those kind of things take place. But you know, is the press going to turn around on a dime tomorrow? Again, I'm not holding my breath. We've got to fight to make every bit of difference we can to the media, and I've done a lot of that over the years. I was instrumental in getting the BBC to stop the absurd policy of balancing climate deniers against climate truth, and that was a real step forward. Probably one of the most important things I've ever done, just right at the start of Extinction Rebellion's career. But you know, we still got so far to go. I mean, coverage on the BBC, let alone on, you know, Sky or whatever, is still so poor. So yeah, we fight the good fight on that, but part of the reason why it seems very likely that this society is going down is because our media are so terrible.